All right. Now greetings, fellow grade 11s. It is Mr. Hlajai here. Welcome to Back to Basics. What we are doing today, we are looking at our equations and also inequality questions. These are different questions that we are getting from different, provincial papers, right? So basically now, this was our June paper from the Gauteng province, right? Which was written in the year 2020. What, this is 2024 if I'm not mistaken, right? Now, so surely you can see, the Gauteng people, they always like to make this structure of these questions to look as if it is something that we've never seen. But now let's try and attempt and see in terms of how can we solve this particular question, right? Now let's start here. So they are firstly saying now determine the value or the values of x for which this particular expression has the real values, right? So now we are saying for the real values, right? So for all these values to be real, which means now whatever that you have here in the denominator, it must be greater than 0, right? That's okay. So which means here this is going to be 9 subtract x, which must be greater than what? Which must be greater than 0, right? And then what is this going to be now from here? So which means now from here, this is going to be same as what? Where you are having your negative x, which is going to be greater than what? Negative 9, right? Now, can you see which means now here? This is where your value of your x is going to be lesser, right? Remember here you divide by negative 1, which is going to be same as what? Positive, right? And remember when you divide by negative 1 in both sides, the inequality sign changes and it looks the opposite direction. All fine, right? So basically now that's what you are going to have here. Now, if we are looking at now our 1.1.2, now in here they are saying for which we are solving for x for this particular expression to be undefined, right? So remember, if in this particular denominator of ours, right, if you're having 9 subtract x being equals to 0, now this gives you an undefined, right? So if whatever that you are having here in the denominator is equal to 0, whatever that you're going to have here as a root is going to be same as what? As undefined, right? So which means this is going to be same as what now? This is going to be same as negative x is equals to 9. Then you divide by negative 1, you divide by negative 1, right? Right together. Remember the 9 was also negative. So which means now your x it's when is equals to 9, where you are going to have these particular values as undefined, right? Or not defined. Now, if we are looking at if you are looking at 1.1.3, now they say given that x is equals to 1, they say, is the expression going to be rational or irrational? They say, validate your answer with an appropriate calculations, right? So now what is that you're going to do now from here? You're going to say, look, now here you write this particular square root. Remember, this was square root of x squared plus 4 divide by this is same as 9 subtract x, right? Now, can you see that this is actually same as what? Now, this is going to be same as square root of what is going to be your x here. This is same as 1 squared plus 4, right? This is divided by 9 subtract what? This is 9 subtract 1. Now, together, remember they said where your x is equals to 1. And what is this going to be now? Now, I want you to look at this. Can you see this is going to be same as 5 over 9 subtract 1? This is going to be same as 4. Altogether, right? Now, this is going to be 5 over 4. Why am I saying over 4? This is basically 5 over 8, right? Because it's 9 subtract 1, which is 8, right? So this is 5 over what? This is 5 over 8 altogether, right? And now, is there anything that we can do with 5 over 8, right? Even if, for an example, you can plug this in your calculator, you're going to see that this is going to just give you decimals, right? So which means this particular expression now, since it doesn't give you any perfect square, it's going to be what? It's going to be irrational. Are we together, right? So which means this particular now expression is going to be regarded as irrational. Are we all fine, right? Now let's just move swiftly along and now look at our 1.1.4, right? Now, what is it that you are looking at 1.1.4? They say determine a value of x where the expression will yield a recurring decimal. Where the expression will yield a recurring decimal, right? Now, I want you to look at this. Remember, this is given by what? This is given by x squared plus 4. This is divided by what? This is divided by 9 subtract what? This is 9 subtract x, right? Now, where is this going to yield a recurring decimal value? Now, when you do this, can you see that here you need to have perfect square numbers where you are going to have what? Where you're going to have recurring decimals, right? Now, can you see that here your 4 it's a square number and your 9 is also a square number, right? So which means when your x is equals to 0, because this is going to be same as 0 squared plus 4 divide by this is 9 subtract 0, right? And then what is going to be this one? Can you see that this is square root of 4 over 9? And then what is 4 over 9 here? This is same as 2 over 3 altogether, right? And then what is 2 over 3, right? Now, can you see that now when you say here this is 2 over 3, then this is going to be same as what when you write this in decimals. This is same as 0, comma, this is same as 0, comma 6. I think it's 6 and then 7 at the end, right? So which means these are the recurring decimals, right? Because the numbers are continuing in a constant pattern. Are we together? So which means now here, which means now they say determine the values of x, which means this is where your x is going to be equal to 0, where you're going to have these as recurring decimals. Right, all fine, right? So basically now, that's what you are going to do now in there. Let's look at now our 1.2 and see in terms of now, how do we now go about whenever you want to solve these particular questions, right? Now, let's just make up our space here very much quickly so that we can be in a position to solve all these questions that you are given, right? Now, so if let's say for an example now you are looking at your 1 point what, let's say you are looking at your 1.2 point 1, what is it then that you're having here? Now they say given that you're having 2x, this is same as 2x squared subtract 3x minus k is equal to 0, right? Now they say determine the values of what? Determine the value of what? The value of x for which k is equal to 0, right? Which means this is going to be 2x squared subtract 3x. Now, where there is k, now you are going to substitute what? Where there is k, you are going to substitute negative, or rather, this is going to be negative. What? This is going to be negative 5, right? Is equal to 0. And now from here, can you see that this is a quadratic equation, right? Which means now here you're going to obviously factorize this by opening up your two brackets. This is going to be same as your 2x. This is going to be your x. And then here, this is going to be same as what? This is going to be same as 5. And the factors of 5, it's 5 and 1, right? Can you see that this is going to be same as negative 5 and this is going to be positive 1, right? Remember the bigger factor takes the sign of the middle term, right? Oh, you're all fine, right? And then now, can you see that now that your solution is going to be same as 2x subtract 5 is equal to 0, or this is same as x plus 1 is equal to 0. Now, which means this is x is same as 5 over 2 because you are going to transpose the 5 this side, and then you're going to divide by 2. Now, your x here is going to be same as what? It's going to be same as negative 1 because you are going to transpose the 1 over this side. Are we together, right? So basically now that's what you are going to do in this particular question. Now let's look at now the second question in here, right? So now this is your x. Now let's just make up our space here and then look at the following question. Now in the following question, they are saying now, if your k is equals to 4, right? Now, which means we are still using the same equation here, right? We are still using the same equation, right? So this is going to be where you're having your 2x. This is 2x squared, right? This is 2x squared. Subtract 3x minus k is equal to 0, right? Now we are solving for x. If now your k is equal to 4, right? Now there is a guide that you are having here, right? They are saying correct to 2 decimal place. You can only correct to 2 decimal place if the equation it is not factorizable and you can only use your quadratic formula to factorize it, right? So which means by them writing the fact that you need to correct it to 2 decimal place, they are actually giving you a guide that in this particular question, you must therefore use your what? You must therefore use your quadratic equation, right? So let's see, this is same as 2x squared, subtract 3x. This is subtract 3x. This is minus what? This is going to be subtract your 4 is equals to 0, right? Now here, you are going to consider this what? Now, according to the equation of here, this is your value of your b. This is your value of, a, this is b, and this is your c, right? So which means now you are going to use the quadratic formula, which is same as x is equals to negative b plus minus, this is going to be same as square root of b squared subtract 4ac, right? Now this is divided by 2 into a, or okay. Now, and then what is going to be this one? This is same as x, and what is going to be your value of your b? Can you see that your value of your b here, you already have a negative, right? This is going to be also negative 3, plus minus. Now, what is the value of your b? Again, I said this is negative 3. For the value of your a, it's 2. And then the value of your c, it's negative 4. This, everything else here is divided by 2 into what is the value of your a. This is going to be into 2, right? Now, which means now from here, you're going to find the solutions of your a's, right? So here you can just literally just plug this in your calculator and see what is that you're going to get, right? Now, remember, you just change the positive. You start with the positive and then you come back with the negative, right? So which means here your x is going to be same as what? This is same as 2,35. This is same as 2,35. Or this is where your x is also same as what? Negative 0,85. Altogether, right? So basically now that's what you are going to do whenever you are required to calculate this particular question, right? Now let's look at our 1.3.1 and in terms of now, how do we go about in solving this one, right? I'm hoping that here you can literally see that these are just equation that involves equations and inequalities. It's just that now the structure of this particular question is almost different to the one that we are used to our different question papers, right? But this doesn't necessarily mean now that the concept is no longer the same, right? Now let's look at your 1.3.1. This, you are having your x, right? This is solve for x. You're having x subtract 4, right, is equal to, this is same as negative into, this is going to be x subtract 2. Are we fine, right? And how are we then going to work with this? Now let's start here. Now we are going to start by saying here, you are going to you want to get rid of the root here, right? And the very key thing that we are going to do now from here, we are going to start by squaring on this side. We are also going to square on this particular side so that you can have different of, you can remove the square root in here. Now, what is going to happen here? This is same as x subtract 4 and also x subtract 4, because these are two brackets of the same thing, right? Now, and what is going to happen here? The negative multiplied by negative is going to give us a positive, obviously, right? So which means now from here, what is that you're going to end up having here? You're only going to have end up having your x subtract 2, which is what you're having inside the root altogether. And now after here, you are going to now multiply back. You say x multiplied by x gives you what? This is going to be x squared. And then x multiplied by 4, this is same as negative 4x. And then x, again here multiplied by 4, this is same as negative 4x. And then negative 4 and multiplied by negative 4, this is positive 16, right? Minus x, right? Now I'm taking back this x the side and also the 2 the side, right? So this is minus x plus 2 is equals to 0. Are we okay? Now what is going to happen here, which means this is going to be negative x squared. This is going to be x squared, rather negative 4 and negative 4 and negative 1. This is, I think this gives you negative 9x, right? Negative 9x, and then 16 plus 2. What is 16 plus 2? This is going to be positive, right? This is going to be positive 18 if I'm not mistaken, right? Altogether. So this is going to be your positive 18, which is equal to 0. And then now from here, obviously we can factorize this, right? Now, how do you factorize? We are looking for x squared. We are saying in x squared, what is the factors of 1, right? Remember here, your value of your a, it's 1 next to the x squared, right? So can you see that this is going to be x multiplied by x? And now what is going to be the 18 here? Now, the factors of 18, it's 1 and 18. It's 2 and 9. I think it's also 6 and 3, right? Are we together? But now factors that they can give us your -9, it's going to be same as 6 and 3, right? Because can you see that if this is negative and negative, can you see here that we can end up having your -9, right? So which means indeed this is going to be 3, this is going to be 9, which is equals to 0 now, which means now this is same as negative and negative, right? It's negative. Why am I saying 9 here? Remember here it's 6, right? Because it must give me 9, right? So this is 6, right? Because -3 multiplied by -6 gives us our positive 18, right? Now, which means this is going to be same as now x subtract 3 is equals to 0, or this is going to be same as 0. X subtract 6 is equals to 0. And now from here, we can now conclude that x is equals to 3, or now your x is equals to what, also positive 6. But now what is important here, because we are using our radical roots, now we are going to come back and use check method, right? So what check method does is basically it helps us to check or to verify whether is our left hand side equal to our right hand side. Are we together? And now how are we then going to do that? We are going to take their same values and substitute them, right? Look, if I'm saying this is, remember this was given by x subtract 4 is equals to negative root of what? This is x subtract what? This is x subtract 2. Now I'm going to start here. I'm going to start with my 3. I'm going to substitute 3 where there is x, right? Can you see this is going to be same as 3 subtract 4, which is going to be same as what? Which is equals to, now this is negative, what is that you're having here? This is 3 subtract 2 in this case. Altogether, 3 subtract 4, this gives me -1, right? Now 3 subtract 2, this is root of 1, right? This is the root of 1, and if this is root of 1, this, can you see this is now root of 1, which is going to give me -1, right? Now, can we then now see from here that your left hand side is equal to your right hand side, which means this is indeed a correct solution. However, if you can then now use the different thing, now we are saying this is 6 subtract 4 is equal to, this is same as negative, where there is x, now I write 6 subtract what? 2. And then what is going to be 6 subtract 2? I want you to see that 6 subtract 2 gives me 2. However, on this other side, now this is negative. What is 6 subtract 4? Can you see that this is going to be same as 4? And then can you see here I'm having 2 and here I'm having my -2, right? Can you see that these two are not equal to each other, right? So which means my 6 is not going to be a solution, which means we are going to reject the 6 as a solution, right? So every time when you are having your radical roots like this is where it is compulsory for us to do the check method. Are we all fine, right? So I am hoping that all of this makes sense. Now let's look at our 1.3.2 then now, right? Now let's just make up our space now in here so that we can look at 1.3.2. I'm hoping that all of us can see that this it's going to this is going to be your inequality. Now I want us to look at it. What is it then that you are given in here, right? Hopefully you can see this now, right? Let's just copy it here. Now we are saying this is going to be same as x squared plus 4, which is greater than, this is going to be same as 3x plus 2. Now, what is it then that you're going to do now from here? Here you're going to start by, right? You're going to start by doing what? Collecting like terms, right? So this is going to be same as x squared. Now this is same as -3x plus 4 minus 2 is greater than 0, right? Can you see what I did here? I simply just transposed whatever that I was having this other side. Now this is same as x squared subtract 3x and 4 subtract 2. This is going to be same as positive what? Positive 2, which is going to be greater than what? 2. Oh, fine. And then now from here, can we all see that here we are going to start by what? Now this is going to be opening up two brackets and we are factorizing, right? Now we are saying what are factors of 1? This is same as x and x. And factors of 2, it's same as 1 and 2, right? Can you all see that, right? Which means now this is going to be 1 and also this is going to be 2, right? This is negative and this is negative. Are we all fine, right? So which means now from here, what is important for us to note, right? Now we are going to say, can you see that this is going to be same as your x? This is going to be same as what now? You are going to do our critical values, right? Critical values of x, right? And your critical values of x, we are saying your x is actually it is 1, or the value of the other x, it is same as what? It's same as 2. Okay. Now, what is it then that you're going to do now from here? Now we are going to come back and say, look, right? Now from here, we are going to now draw our number line, right? We are going to start by drawing our number line. Are we fine, right? Now, I want you to look at this, right? So we want in this number line, right? Remember, within our number line, you're going to have 1 and also your 2, right? Now, what is important for you to note is that from here, remember, since your a is greater than 0, remember when your a is greater than 0 here, which means here you are always going to have a smiling face graph, right? So which means this particular graph is going to be looking at what? It's going to be a smiling face graph, right? But now I want you to look at something here. So we are saying now from here, which values that when you substitute as the values of x, they are going to give you what? They are going to give you something that is going to be greater than 1. Now, let's look at this, right? Now, let's just take the value that is less than 3, right? Let's take the value that is less than 3 right now from here. That is less than 1, which is same as 0, right? So for an example, can you see that if you can substitute 0 in the x here, can you see that here, the only answer that you're going to have here, you are going to have what? You are going to have -2. Can you see if you're going to go to x and say this is 0 squared minus 3 into what? This is going to be 0. This is same as +2, which is greater than 0. Can you see that now the answer that you're having here is indeed greater than 0 because 2 is greater than 0, right? Because you're having a +2 here, right? So which means now when you are moving outside here, the values of x that you're getting here, they are positive, right? Now, but if I can just look at the value that is between 1 and 2, I would get. Now, let's say I am looking maybe for my value of what? Let's say I am using my 1,5, right? My 1,5, which is same as 2 over 3, right? Let's say I'm using my 2 over 3, right? Or 1,5, because that's the value that is found in between 1 and 2, right? Now, look, if I'm going to this and say I am using my what now? I am saying this is same as my 2 over 3, right? This is 2 over 3, right? 2 over 3 altogether. This is 2 over 3. All right. Is it 2 over 3 or 3 over 2, right? 3 over 2, I mean. Yes. Why am I swapping this? This is same as my 3 over 2, which is my half, right? Which is going to my 1.5. This is same as 3 over 2. Now, if I substitute, why am I choosing 3 over 2? Can you see that this is a value that is found in between 1 and 0, right? Now, what am I going to do now from here? Can you see that if I'm going here and I'm substituting the value in this equation, look, if I am saying here, this is same as 3 over 2 squared, subtract 3 into 3 over 2 plus 2. Am I getting a value that is going to be greater than 0? Now, look, if I'm saying 3 over 2, this is squared, right? Close bracket, squared, right? So this is close bracket, squared. Now, this is also, right, 3 over 2 minus, this is going to be 3 into, right? This is 3 into 3 over 2, right? We are just plugging in our calculator here, right? 3 over 2, this is going to be plus what? Plus 2, right? Now, you are going to find -1 over what? -1 over 4, which is something that is not greater than 2. Are we okay, right? Can you see that -1 over 2, this value is not greater than 0? Are we okay? So, which means here, this value is less than 0, right? Can you see that here you are finding a negative value, right? However, if you can substitute 3 in this particular equation, what is it then that you're going to have here? If let's say substitute 3, you substitute that you replace the 3 over 2 by 3. Now, can you see that here you are getting a +2, right? If here you come back and then you substitute what? You substitute 3. So, which means this is going to be positive. Are we together, right? So, basically now, this is how you are going to write your number line. Now, I want us to look at something now. Because here you're looking for values that are greater than 0. Can you see this is going to be where x is less than 1, where you're going to get values that are greater than 0, right? Because less than 1, you are getting positive values, right? Now, Oh, this is going to be where x is greater than 2, right? Because when x is greater than 2, you are also getting what? Positive values in this directions. Are we together, right? So basically now this is how we are going to do this particular question. Now let's look at the last question in terms of how can we then go about in solving such a question, right? So in the last question here, which you are given, you are having your what? This is your simultaneous equation, right? Now, this is us just making up our space here. This is us making up our space here, right? Now, let's see in terms of what is it then that you can do from here. So now let's look at your what? Here we are looking at your 1.4, right? Now, look, you are having this. You are given that you're having 2x, which is equals to y plus 2, right? Now, this is the equation 1, right? But remember in here, you can make either your x or your y to be the subject of the formula, right? But now, because your y is only having 1 as its coefficient, we are going to target it and make it to be the subject of the formula. And how are you going to do that? This is going to be same as what? This is going to be same as y is equals to, this is same as what? I'm transposing the 2 this side, which is going to be 2x subtract 2. Now, this is my equation number 2. And then now my equation number 3 will be same as what now? 2x squared subtract, this is going to be same as 2. This is same as, oh, this is equals to 2 minus, this is going to be your y squared. Right now, this is going to my equation number 3. And how are we then going to solve on this particular question? You are going to start here. You are going to say we are substituting. You are substituting equation number 2 into equation number 3, right? So which means what is it that you're going to have now from here? This is same as 2x squared minus or is equals to 2 subtract now. This is going to be same as what? Now, I want you to look at this, right? Can you see this is going to be same as x, right? This is going to be same as 2x subtract 2 and everything here is squared, right? Now, but it's important that we note this particular negative and we treat it with more caution, right? So can you see this is actually the same as 2x squared is equals to 2 subtract into brackets. This is same as 2x subtract 2 and also 2x subtract 2, right? All right, again. And now this is same as 2x squared is equals to 2 subtract now 2x multiplied by 2x. What is going to be this one? Can you see this is same as 4x squared? Then 2 and this is going to be negative 4x. And then this one and this one again gives you negative 4x. And negative gives me positive 4. Altogether, right? This negative 2 and negative 2, this gives me positive 4. Are you fine? And now from here, we are going to collect like terms, but we are going to also multiply by the negative outside. So which means this is same as 2x squared is equals to 2. Subtract now, this is same as 4x squared. Then negative and negative, this gives you negative 8. Now, negative 8 multiplied by this is same as positive 8x. The negative multiplied by positive, this is negative 4, which is going to be same as what? Which is going to be same as this. Now, and then now from here, what am I going to do now? I'm going to transpose all my values of x in here, right? So when I transpose all my values of x here, this is same as 2x subtract 4x plus 4x, which this is going to be same as 6x squared. Now, the 8x, when I transpose this side, is going to be negative 8x. And then now, see, I'm having my 2 minus, this is 2 minus what? Minus 4, which is same as negative 2. When I transpose it in this side of the triangle, this is going to, in this other side of the bracket, this is going to be same as my positive 2 is equals to 0. And what is important for me to do now from here? I'm going to start by dividing by 2 everywhere. This is going to be 3x squared minus 4x. This is going to be plus 1 is equals to 0. Are we again? Right. And now what is going to be the best plan here? Now I am going to open up my two brackets and equate this to 0. This is same as 3x. This is same as x, right? Factors of 1 it's same as 1 and 1, right? So which means for me to get my negative 4 here, everything here must be negative, right? So which means here I am getting my 3x subtract 1 is equal to 0. or I am getting my x subtract 1 is equal to 0, which means now what is going to be, this is the same as 3x is equal to positive 1. Then my x is same as 1 over 3 because I've divided by 3 both sides. Now on this other side, my x is going to be same as what? My x is going to be same as 1. Are we fine, right? So basically, this is how we go about whenever we are required to solve all these types of questions, right? Now, I am hoping that all of this makes sense and you are in a position to answer these particular questions whenever given. Thank you very much for listening.